What's up, everybody? Josh Armijo here. I hope everybody's doing good and stuff. This is my first official video of 2021, and first of all, I hope everyone had a great holiday, and I hope everyone is making the most out of things right now during this current pandemic we are living in. We will all get through this together, and we will all be doing fine. I fucking know it. But yeah. We're going to do a top 10 list today, and this is going to be a rundown of my 10 favorite albums of 2020. This has been quite an interesting list to think of and create. As is the usual routine with every other list I've had to create over the years, there are some albums that come unexpectedly, and there are just some albums that have just stuck with me throughout the course of 2020. And of course, I've come down to whittle everything to 10 albums that really mean a lot to me. But first, we have what's playing in the background, a little bit of an honorable mention. Isak Trillium with Eternity of Shaug. Fantastic French black metal, probably one of the more consistent one-person black metal projects going right now. This new album is just so fucking awesome, and I swear if I had a top 11, this would be number 11 right now, but I'm only doing a top 10, so yeah. If you haven't heard Isak Trillium, go check this one out. Okay, y'all know the deal. This list is opinion, not fact. This is my list, not yours. Let's get this party started. Coming in at number 10, Medaraja, self-titled. I told myself that when I was making a list that I was going to include one Zach Fogel project. And Zach Fogel, in my opinion, was one of the biggest MVPs of 2020, not only doing this project, but also involving himself with other forms of creative outputs, such as Carsould, Concrete, Basic Human Torture, Shotgun Cock, Mortar, just to name a few. But this is one of my absolute favorite things that he did. The first and probably last thing to ever exist under the Medaraja project. And 2020 was full of incredible gore grind-centric releases, and I would say that this is one of the most brutal and one of the most raw. In terms of musicianship, in terms of crazy pitch-shifted vocals, fast drumming, loud snare tones, this album had it all, and I definitely consider this to be something worth repeated listens, whether you have the vinyl or whether you have the CD or tape versions. This is one of my favorite gore grind releases to come from 2020. It goes without saying, Coagulative Necrosis and the sort of other stuff made for some great gore grind in 2020, but this one is near and dearest to my heart the most, so yeah. Number 10 on my list is Medaraja with the self-titled album. Coming in at number 9, Atramentus, Stygian. Probably one of the most epic stories to ever be woven in 2020 in terms of lyric writing, concepts. Phil Tugast is an absolutely phenomenal guitarist, vocalist, songwriter, musician, lyric writer. This guy can do no wrong, and this is probably one of his most biggest labors of love, is this Atramentus album. 3-part track, almost 30 plus minutes of pure, punishing, sombering funeral doom, really deep guttural vocals, beautiful sung vocals, fantastic riffs, well executed drumming. The lyrics on this album are fantastic. If you are one of those people that is into metal with some great stories to be told, this album has a fantastic story and concept behind it, and I am all for it. Definitely my favorite funeral doom record of 2020, my favorite doom metal record in general. So yeah, number 9 on my list is Atramentus with Stygian. Go check this one out. Coming in at number 8, Black Curse with Endless Wound. Yeah. Pretty much an all-star collaboration featuring people from some fantastic bands within Colorado. Primitive Man, Spectral Voice, Blood Incantation, just to name a few. These guys came together to create probably one of the most volcanic and monolithic sounding death metal records to exist in recent memory. And with every single song that's on this album, it just shows you that Black Curse have come a very long way from what they used to sound like to what they sound like now, and they deliver just an absolute barn burner of a record with songs like Charnel Rift, Enraptured by Decay, Lifeless Sanctum. Just some seriously fantastic songwriting, great vocals, great riffs, great musicianship all the way throughout. If you have not heard Black's Curse, I would highly recommend you get into this band because they're going to be making a big difference in your life for many more years to come. So yeah. Coming in at number 8 is Black Curse with Endless Wound. Coming in at number 7, Omega Vortex, Black Abomination Spawn. Yeah, this one came out of left field, out of nowhere for me, and this is a band that I have been anticipating hearing music from for a very long time because this is the next generation of what came from a band like Beyond. And Omega Vortex is just one of those lethal, unapologetically black death metal sort of bands in terms of the fast-paced songwriting, in terms of the music, the pure evil and darkness that comes out of every single track. You never know what's going to hit you when you listen to something like Black Abomination Spawn. It's just fast-paced, it's relentless, it's energetic. There is just a lot of magic to be held with an album like this. Cosmic Horror, Maelstrom, Void Possessor, Soul Harvest, Stellar Death, just some seriously phenomenal songs throughout the majority of this album. This band has been putting out some music for quite a good while now, but this album is the full culmination of everything Omega Vortex has done and continue to do, and hopefully there's more where this came from, or if this is going to be the only thing we get from them. Boy, did they come out with such a great statement. So yeah, coming in at number 7 is Omega Vortex with Black Abomination Spawn. What an album. Coming in at number 6, Fluids, Ignorance Exalted. I don't care if this is an EP or a short full length. This band has made enough of an impact on me to put this album on my list, and anytime I listen to this band, I feel like my brain is slowly just rotting and corroding away, and this band is the perfect example of how to use real samples from real life things, accompanied with some killer drum programming, insane vocal work, great riffs, even more deadly synth work. I mean, Fluids have been making a big deal and statement with their brand and their sound. They don't give a fuck. They're offensive, they're lewd, they're crude, they're meant to make your skin crawl. And with an album like Ignorance Exalted, hearing songs like Extorted, Capped, Redacted, Chunked, just some absolutely amazing, amazing songs here. And I know by the time I'm filming this that they've incorporated a new singer into their fold. The new material that they've been working on is just pretty much what you know and expect out of Fluids. Even more deadly things are going to be soon to come from Fluids. I'm all for it, and I hope this band continues to make people more mad and irritated for many more years to come. So yeah, coming in at number 6 is Ignorance Exalted by Fluids. Go check this one out. Alright, we're getting into top 5 territory now. Coming in at number 5, Achilles Melano. Yeah. The more I listen to this album, the more nightmarish it sounds and the more devastating things get. I mean, like I've said previously, Nas Alchemist is one of the greatest things to ever exist in American black metal right now, whether he's doing stuff with Nightbringer or Bestia Arcana or Excommunion or whatever projects he's doing, he knows exactly what he's doing. And with Achilles, he brings back that nightmarish sort of black metal sound with Melano, and it's even more of a joy and a pleasure to listen to. I mean, I still think The Dreaming Eye is the best thing Achilles ever did, but Melano is right up there. It just creeps on the more you listen to it. I mean, it's just scary. It's frightening. This is the type of stuff you want to listen to at night with no lights on and a candle on or something. This is definitely dark, ritualistic nightmare shit. And Achilles gets the job done with this album. Every single track has a meaning, has a purpose, and it's delivered with such fantastic vigor and zeal. I fucking love this album. So coming in at number 5 is Achilles with Melano. Go check it out. Coming in at number 4, Revenge, Strike, Smother, Dehumanize. Yeah, it's typical Revenge business as usual, but like I said in my previous review of this album, I think this is probably the most coherent sounding Revenge has ever sounded. And the more I listen to this album, the more I love and appreciate what Jay Reed and company do with an album like this. I mean, Reaper Abyss, Oath Violator, Human Animal, Lightning Mythos, Self-Segregation. All of these songs embody the spirit of what Revenge is all about. Pure hatred and misanthropy, doing pure hatred and misanthropy very, very well. I mean, the drums are over the top, like you would expect on any sort of Revenge release. Absolutely fantastic vocal work from Jay Reed. Killer riffs all the way throughout. Dive bombs that'll just make your heart melt. That is just what Revenge knows how to do. But if you've heard Revenge before, you know what you're going to be getting yourself into. But this is probably the best this band has ever sounded, the most coherent this band has ever sounded, but yet it maintains all of the greatness that Revenge knows how to do. And this album is fantastic. So coming in at number 4 is Revenge with Strike, Smother, Dehumanize. Coming in at number 3, Defeated Sanity, The Sanguinary Impetus. Yeah. Defeated Sanity to me are death metal's undisputed kings right now, as far as contemporary, newer sort of bands are concerned. And this band welcomed into their newest legacy with their new singer, with Lille Gruber doing the drums and guitar playing. Just an absolutely phenomenal record all the way through, and I would highlight this to be one of the best things Defeated Sanity has done in recent memory. I mean, Imposed Corporeal Inhabitation, Entity Dissolving Entity, Arboriously Transfixed, Driveling Putrefaction. I mean, the brutal death metal elements, the progressive elements, the jazzy elements, pretty much everything you would know Defeated Sanity best for is all brought into this one full-length album. All of their best elements, done well, done spectacularly, and I cannot get enough of this album. I mean, if you're a Defeated Sanity fan and you want to hear every single influence this band has ever had, I would highly recommend that you get into this Sanguinary Impetus album. It is worth listening to and a great deal more. So coming in at number 3 is Defeated Sanity with the Sanguinary Impetus. Coming in at number 2, The True Werewolf, Devil Crisis. The more I listened to this album, the more I appreciated and loved and adored everything that came with it, because this has been a project that has been sitting around and toiling around for many, many years, and this full-length album is just years and years of anticipation and waiting coming in together for just one big, gigantic payoff. And that payoff was in the form of Devil Crisis. I mean, it's just so over the top, it's so nerdy, it's so entertaining, hearing all this Castlevania stuff juxtaposed with the synth work, the vocals, the guitar playing. I mean, this is just some seriously fantastic, elaborate black metal. I mean, if you're into anything Werewolf has done, you're probably going to enjoy the hell out of Devil Crisis. I mean, the more I listen to songs like My Journey Under the Battle Moon, Chino Namida, The Witch of My Heart, it just goes to show you what great prowess somebody like Werewolf has writing all these crazy, fantasy-driven, vampiric lyrics. It's just so entertaining and over the top, and gotta commend Werewolf for finally sticking to his guns and putting out a great album with Devil Crisis. So coming in at number 2, The True Werewolf with Devil Crisis. And coming in at number 1, probably my favorite death metal record and probably my favorite death metal band that is not afraid to cross any sort of boundaries and do something different. My number one album of 2020 is Chthonic Cervix with Equasicum. Unbelievable album. Probably one of the best bands to come and exist out of Germany. Probably one of the best death metal bands to incorporate black metal technicalities. I mean, like I said before, this band is the perfect example of crossing bands like Titan Blood and Voivod together to create something very apocalyptic, something very over the top. I mean, the title track, Paradox Sun, Demogorgon, Collecting Coffin Nails. I mean, just some seriously fantastic songwriting all the way through and through. I love the riffs. I love the stories being woven here. I just love how this album is produced. This is a very, very wonderful album, and I cannot recommend this one to you enough. I've listened to this album probably more than any other album I listened to in 2020, and I am very much hopeful and excited for more great things to come from this band, Chthonic Cervix, in the near future. So coming in at number one is Equasicum by Chthonic Cervix, my album of the year. Unfucking believable. And with that being said, I'm going to conclude this video. Let me know what your favorite albums of 2020 have been, and I've got some very intriguing stuff in store for you in 2021, and we're going to see how things play and pan out. So please bear with me. I've got some great things coming your way. So I'm going to conclude this video. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel. Until next time, Army Help out.